What's going on, golf addicts? DB here of the Tour Junkies. It's Tour Junkies After Dark, presented by none other than DraftKings. We love DraftKings. Enjoying doing the show. Hope you guys are too. If this is the first time you've caught us, we normally do this every week for about 15 to 20 minutes after we record the podcast. We talk about guys that we vehemently disagreed with, that I picked, that Pat doesn't like, vice versa. And then at the end, we button this up with some nice DraftKings Sportsbook traditional betting odds and picks that we like. Normally, Pat is not in a bathroom, but tonight he is.
Bathroom now.
How you doing, Pat?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Doing really well. I'm in Disney World. Magic Band.
Oh, Magic Band.
Magic Band. It's all about the magic.
Dog.
But you know what? Hey, by the way, how about that magic with the Albatross call last week on the show? 16-1.
Yeah, if you're paying attention.
First day, you didn't even have to wait till Sunday or anything. It hit on Thursday early.
Yeah, you didn't have to sweat it at all. That was a great call by you. Hopefully some of the viewers got on the 16-1 Albatross bet. Hopefully some of the viewers also listened to me when I said you shouldn't play Xander in cash, which you wanted to do.
Bad call. Yeah.
And that you shouldn't have played Phil. Also not too great. So anyway, we'll bring all that up. You and I had a good time. We went to the Players Championship in lovely Ponte Vedra. We had a wonderful time. Now you just made the trip on down to Orlando with the fam, and you're in the Magic Kingdom. Is Mickey Mouse going to pop his head in the door anytime soon?
He might. I don't know. I don't know what could pop. I mean, this is a sliding door behind me. Anything could pop out. I mean, seriously, a kid, a wife, anything. Well, a Disney character.
That would be interesting. By the way, your lighting is really good to be in a bathroom. Did you bring your ring light and you're sitting it on top of the toilet or something?
No, I didn't, but the lighting is great in here. I got front lights, back lights. I mean, it's really good. It's probably better than my house, as a matter of fact. So I could learn something from Disney bathrooms.
Hey, I think I'm pretty sure I'm all in on you doing this in the bathroom from here on out. All right, let's get to.
You know what they have too? A little cooling aloe gel. If you need, I don't know what you need that for, but look, Disney provides.
They supply you with a little aloe gel. That's lovely. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into this, man. I got a couple of things, guys. I know you're not a big fan, or you are a big fan of, that I'm not a big fan of. And the first guy is, somebody who should do well here. I think he's got a pretty decent history here, but that's not really what I looked at. I more just looked at some of the inconsistent play of late. And that is to pay up for your boy, Henrik Stenson. Now, I know he's not a 10,000 guy. He's 9,100. Not a terrible price. I got to say, I'm not totally hating this pick, but when you look at his performance just this past week at the Players, lost strokes off the tee, lost strokes around the green, lost strokes putting, on Bermuda, no less, which I wasn't, we're back on this week. If you don't know, it's the Valspar Championship in Tampa, Florida at Innisbrook, the Copperhead course. This is a par 71. It's around 7,300 yards. It plays actually a little bit longer. It is a iron play, approach game type of golf course if there's ever been one. I think that chipping and putting on Bermuda is going to be really, really important for these guys. That's what we're dealing with here. Small greens, tight fairways. Place the ball off your tee, which Stenson is good at. I'll give you that. Stenson tends to play really well on courses like this, tee to green, but just the inconsistency I'm not a fan of. If you look at the last 100 rounds on Bermuda, because I did look on Bermuda for this stat, which is strokes gained around the green. You and I have talked about this a couple weeks in a row. Chipping off of Bermuda is very different than chipping off of a lot of other surfaces. And if you look at strokes gained chipping or around the green with Stenson in the last 100 rounds on Bermuda, he is 103rd in this field. Now, all the ball striking stats, I get it. He's going to check them. He's going to check the box there. I just don't know that I want to pay the 9,100 for a guy like Stenson who's been that inconsistent, who we know struggles on Bermuda. Try to sell me, Pat.
Well, here's the thing. Look, I know, and yeah, he had a bad week last week, but before that, he had a top 20 finish. I think at the Arnold Palmer, I think he showed a little bit that his game is maybe starting just a little bit to round into form. So when you look at maybe tournament plays, I think he could make a good tournament play at that price. And you know what? Yeah, you're right. I mean, he does not check the box around the green, which is one of my favorite stats this week. But when you look at strokes gained approach, another one of my favorite stats, he's 17th in the field. He's 21st in proximity. He's 23rd in opportunities gained. So he is scoring a little bit. And then I looked at putting as well, and he's actually in the top 30 in strokes gained putting on Bermuda. So here's the thing. But besides that around the green play, everything else kind of sets up for Stenson to be a good low-owned GPP play this week at that price at 9,100. So I do like that. And here's the thing. I'm also a fan of really fading almost everybody over the 10K range this week. I think you can do that. I think you can maybe take that chance this week in your tournament lineups. And if you're going to do that, you're going to have to maybe start with some guys in the 9K range. I like starting with some Stenson at 9,100.
Low-owned GPP play? You think Stenson, with all his course history, is going to be a low-owned GPP play?
Yeah, because you know what? I mean, look, he really hasn't played all that well, lately, other than maybe, at the
Well, you just cited his... Yeah, I mean...
But that's what I'm saying. I think because of his play and because of last week, not playing well at all, I think there's a good chance that you're going to see him low-owned.
Guys, we need to...
And look at by the way, look at the guys around him that you're talking about. You got Paul Casey, guys like that. So, I don't know. I think that he's certainly... I definitely... What do you see him at? What percentage do you see him at? I think maybe at least 10% or less.
Now, here's the reason Pat asked that question. He's trying to deflect me from asking him where I think he's going to be owned. He wants to hear my number first.
Yes.
Because
exactly.
and see, Pat's savvy. Pat's more savvy than you think he is, even at this point of the night. But I am more savvy, and I know what he's doing. Okay, Pat, we should put a disclaimer. If DraftKings could put a disclaimer right now, it would be: do not listen to Pat when it comes to ownership projections. He is god awful at ownership projections. If it weren't for the DraftKings playbook and the best sites around for ownership projections, Pat would be lost. So I was about to ask him where he thinks Stenson would come in at. Pat would probably say like 3% or some ludicrous number. And then
no, I don't think it's that low. No.
I think
it's under 10.
At 9,100 with his history, I bet he's around 15%.
I think it's lower. I think it's under 10.
RIP to that prediction.
We'll be able to check the tape. We got a recording right here.
All right, here's the next guy. Here, I don't know that I've ever done a recording in the bathroom that I can talk about on the internet. All right, here's the next guy that I'm not really a fan of, and this one's way easier to poke holes in, and that's Charl Schwartzel. I know you get excited when he had a little pop there at the Puerto Rico, and he finished it up again. I think played decent at the Honda. But, I mean, my God, his numbers at the Players were just terrible over 2 rounds. Lost 4 strokes off the tee, 3 strokes in approach. Ball striking was awful. Missed the cut. Ball striking hasn't been great even when he played well at the Honda. It was okay, but he really made up a lot of his strokes gained numbers on the green. Now, team course history, Pat here, as we know. He won this event in 2016. I get that. He finished 6th in 2017. I get that. Last year he made the cut, finished 49th. Charl Schwartzel is not the same golfer as he was in 2016 or 2017. He's just not played that well over the last year or so. He's just been off. If you look at the numbers, horrible strokes gained approach numbers, like 101st in the field. And if you look at Bermuda over the last 100 rounds, he's 61st in putting on Bermuda, and he's 42nd in strokes gained around the green on Bermuda. I see this at 8,200 too. I think you're paying too much for this guy. I would much rather have Adam Hadwin, and I don't even like Adam Hadwin that much right now, but I'd rather have Hadwin. I'd rather have Russell Knox down there, Kisner, JT Poston down there below him. A ton of guys around him I'd much rather have than pay up for Charl Schwartzel. I got to figure the only reason you're playing this dude is ownership. And I do think, unlike Stenson, his ownership will be low.
I agree. It's going to be super low. And you know what? You're right. His course history is fantastic here with the win 3 years ago in 2016, was 6th following that year in 2017. Yes, last year wasn't that great. But here's the thing, just like we saw with Stenson, I mean, other than the miscut last week, We had 2 really good finishes in a row from Schwartzel, and checks the box and scrambling. So look, I mean, here's the thing. On a week like this, and by the way, this field is way better than I typically would think it would be after a TPC. But, and at that price, I think he's certainly going to be low owned because not a lot of people are going to want to play him. But I like taking a little gamble this week. And look, I mean, he's been good. I mean, other than outside of last week, he was T16 at the Honda on a very difficult course, just like we're getting this week. T6 at Puerto Rico. Game is coming around. I like some Charl Schwartzel as a good low-owned GPP play. Look, I'm not playing him in cash. He's not a guy that I'm just, I'm totally certain is going to make the cut and whatever else, but I love his upside. I'm good with that. I like that 8,200 price range, so I'll roll with that. And I'm in Disney. Everything, it's like I'm a Disney fan. Means I'm happy.
What does that have to do with Charl Schwartzel?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, you can be happy. You don't have to be an idiot and play Charl Schwartzel this week. I wouldn't do that.
I just feel like, you know what, you just gotta take some gambles.
You got a little bourbon there, or is that rosé? Which one is that?
It's rosé in like a bourbon type glass.
Good God Almighty! All right, let's. So
let's talk about your guy that I'm not a big fan of, and that's Joaquin Niemann. I don't get it.
Who?
Joaquin Niemann. Jaco Niemann.
Joaquin.
Never can say it right.
Like it's like Joaquin Phoenix.
I like just butchering his name every time I say it.
You must, because you do that frequently. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what do you got against your boy? First of all, normally you love this guy. You love him.
I love him usually, but he's every time I love him, he sucks. So then why are you going to take him this week when he's that's your going to continue to suck? Maybe this is the week actually to play him because you're on him and I'm not. So I need to hear why you're on him then.
Well, first of all, you love him when he's like $9K. I'm playing him at $7,200. Okay.
No, he's been in the 7 range forever.
Yeah, not forever. You pay up for Niemann. This is absurd that I'm even arguing him with you because you love the guy. Now, here's what he sucks at: anything but ball striking. Now, but ball striking is the most important. When you look at weighted data, I think actually our boy Pat Mayo wrote this up on DraftKings. Strokes gained approach weighs out extremely heavy on the Copperhead course, more so than almost any course on the PGA Tour. It's a difficult course, tight fairway, small greens, as we mentioned, and he is an absolute nightmare for everyone else on the field because he's so good at that. In the last 24 rounds, he's 10th in strokes gained approach, second on a stat called opportunities gained, which gauges how many times he hits his approach shot within 15 feet on the putting green or the fringe. Giving himself birdie looks within 15 feet, second in the field over the last 24 rounds. Now, does he putt well? Does he chip well? No, he does not. Therefore, he's at $7,200. He's not played here before. This is his first time here, but I've seen first-timers do pretty good here at Valspar. Recent form isn't anything to like write home about. It's not awful. It's nothing to write home about, but we definitely know this guy has upside. We saw it last year with top 10 finishes at the Valero, Fort Worth, the Memorial, the Greenbrier. I mean, the guy has upside. If you look at the long-term history of Joaquin Niemann, off the tee, strokes gained approach numbers, usually very, very solid, very consistent. I just got to have him hit those small greens. As long as he hits the small greens and the irons are dialed in, he's going to be every bit worth that 7,200.
So the putting doesn't bother you at all. 129th in the field, strokes gained putting on Bermuda.
Well, the putting bothers me, but at 7,200 and as strong as the iron game is, I'm willing to overlook it. Now we know putting is variable. He could be hot with the putter. So there you go.
I'm just going to tell you here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a little advice as a Joaquin Niemann truther here. The guy can't putt. I've
clearly,
because he's been in my favorites. So, he's not in your favorites on the PGA Tour app because you haven't been playing him, but he's been in mine. And so I'm watching the shot tracker. The guy can't putt. That's what I have a problem with. But whatever. I
Well,
get
you're just the talking head in a bathroom. That's all we know. So I'm going to let Joaquin prove you wrong here.
By the way, did a kid or something come? I thought I saw the door open a second ago. Was there a kid over there?
He may have, but I was looking at something else.
I missed it. Somebody's going to catch that on the tape because I swear to God, something opened this door a second ago. It could have been freaking Mickey Mouse. And then I don't know what's going on behind me. I don't know what's happening in my household.
This
Not
is
my
your
household,
house?
But my hotel room.
Okay.
Hotel room.
All right, you got any sports?
Mouse.
You got any sportsbook picks, Pat? Before we button this bad boy up from the bathroom.
Yes, I got 4 of them for you actually.
Ooh, okay, hit me.
I mentioned Charl. I like him at 100 to 1. I think throw a little quarter unit on him. Also, Joel Damon at 150 to 1. We saw him playing last week. The guy's playing really well, hitting the ball great. Had a good finish at the TPC, so I like some Joel Damon at 150 to 1. Also, Russell Knox at 66 to 1. I think he's a great play. A guy that fits this course really, really well. Has good course history, good recent form, everything there. And here's a little sneaky play for you. I like how DraftKings does a top 20 bet, and they have Hank Lebioda at 20 to 1 for a top 20. Actually, maybe a top 25. I think top 20, top 25. I like that there, so I'm good. Those are my bets for the week.
Okay. I like the Damon call. We know little Birdie tells us he really likes this golf course, and he's playing very well. T12 at the Players' Championship, the toughest field in golf just this past week. Like Joel Damon at 150 to 1. You know I'm a sucker for this guy when he's a long number. Zach Johnson at 90 to 1. Played here one time in the last 5 years. Finished 16th last year. The players in March not cut out for Zach Johnson. He missed the cut, but it's not his thing. A ball striking course with tight fairways where you got to stay in the fairway, you got to hit good iron shots. That's a course for ZJ, and I like the number at 90 to 1 for the multiple major champion. Our boy Kevin Kisner at 50 to 1 also interests me a little bit. Kiz flashing some form with a top 20 finish at the Players' Championship this last week. Now this course comes around, it's going to play a little shorter maybe than the Players did. Not too much. It's still going to play long, but he hits his irons well. He's a great Bermuda guy around the greens and on putting surfaces, so I love Kiz. And actually I went a little off the radar here, Pat, because we're only 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away from the Masters in our hometown of Augusta, Georgia. And DraftKings Sportsbook already has some Masters odds out. And I got a few names that tickle my fancy over here for the Masters. The first one, Gary Woodland at 66 to 1. Not played really well in the last couple of weeks, but my God, did the guy have an incredible start to the year. And you couldn't find him at 66 to 1 on a lot of books. He's a bomber. He's got plenty of length for Augusta. He just needs the putts to drop. I mean, putting on bent grass at Augusta National at 13 on the stimp. Just get it on your line and let's roll, baby. If he got hot with the putter, he could run away with Augusta. Love the number at 66 to 1. A guy that has a little better history at Augusta that's also a tremendous ball striker, just needs the putts to drop. That is Hideki Matsuyama, who we saw backdoor like a really great finish at the Players just this past weekend after a rough start. Love Hideki at 40 to 1. And finally, Ricky Fowler at 20 to 1 with so many close calls at Augusta National. Decent form heading in. I just think 20 to 1, that's as short as I'm interested in going. I don't like betting any shorter than that in golf. But I think 20 to 1 at Fowler is enough to catch my attention. I like those 3 guys for the Masters.
Wow, I like that. Going the Masters picks. By the way, I did take Hideki actually maybe a month or two ago and got him. I think you just said 40 to 1. I got him around 50, 55 to 1. So on DraftKings Sportsbook. So might as well get him now at that 40 to 1 number. It's not going to get any longer. I can tell you that right now.
Yep, he's playing well. He plays well at Augusta. I think it's definitely an opportunity. That's it for us, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you do, please give it a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Leave us a comment if you like. Leave us a comment on your favorite Masters bet. We're getting into that 3 weeks from now. We'll have a great show for the Masters. Maybe leave a comment. Tell us who you like for the Masters, what the number is, and we'd be interested to see that. Hope you guys enjoy the Valspar. Hope you guys also check out the Tour Junkies podcast, wherever you listen to those. Pat, enjoyed it, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your week in Disney. And hope you can get out of the bathroom tonight. All right, Tour Junkies After Dark for a reason. There you go. See ya.